Are you ready?
Seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts
right here, right
This
now.
is a message to all the haters out there. If you don't like what I do, but you watch everything I'm doing, you're still a fan.
On a Yamaha, chromed out 1100. What I'm doing, getting money. What we doing, getting money. What they doing, hating on us. They never cross cash money. Still a company, and bitch, I'm the boss. And I be stunting like my daddy. Stunting like my daddy. Stunting like my daddy. I be stunting like my daddy. I'm the young stunner. Stunting like my daddy. Stunting like my daddy. I be stunting like my daddy. Yeah, bitch, I'm paid. That's all I gotta say. Can't see you little niggas 'cause the money in the way. And I'm sitting high against the ride blaze. If you ain't gonna ride high, then you might as well hate.
What's going on, everybody? This is your main man, Ox Smooth Baron, and you're tuned in to Hog HQ. Woo! Pig Sue! Wee! Go Hogs!
Oh man. Welcome to another episode, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Another episode. We are live, Hog HQ Live, brought to you by the Hog Talk Podcast. Slade Durham. Shout out to you for being the first one in the room this evening. Thank you guys for watching and tuning in, and thank you for the likes that's already popping on the screen. Once again, this gentleman right here, this is Mr. Hart, and this gentleman over here, this is Adam, and I'm DP. Once again, we are your hosts for tonight for Hog HQ Live. Yeah, I know. As always, you know the hashtag because we can't do it without it. Tell a friend, and we're back again, and we are live with another episode. So once again, got to keep the show going, got to keep it riding. Let's jump straight into it. First of all, before we get straight into it, I don't know if you've seen the news.
Oh, we're going this route.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the news. Yeah.
Since we're talking about somebody getting paid before you getting paid, I bet online. Who's going to throw to him?
We'll let us worry about that. Since y'all quarterback got MVP numbers and didn't get the MVP, don't worry about what we got going on over here, sir.
You can't tell me that wasn't because of a reason.
Look, I had already predicted this. Same way I predicted Sam Pittman, I predicted DK Metcalf. We did an alpha male in that wide receiver room. George Pickens is childish, and it's happening. Here we go. Here we go.
Here's the thing that is going to happen, and I'm predicting it now. Baltimore is going to add Jair Alexander. and they're going to lock down the AFC North the day that happens. So George Pickens and DK Metcalf can do whatever. Bet money by day 3 of camp they're fighting.
Big facts. Big facts. Big facts. But we need that. We need that. Back when we were decent, that's exactly
what's
what
the
was
biggest
happening.
contract in Steelers history.
Yeah, we don't pay people a lot of money. We don't go out in free agency because the whole concept behind the franchise is built through the draft. So
well, that's like Baltimore. Like after rookie contracts, you're more than likely going somewhere else.
Right. I think y'all got that from us, but I digress. Look, going back into the show because that's what we're here for. Raise back nerds. Yeah, I did. We did. So, before we get into this Portland and this baseball, let's go ahead and pay these bills so we can get popping. Let's talk about Bet Online real quick.
Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything sports betting. Every stat, matchup, breakdown, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during games. With the largest catalog of odds on everything from football, MLB playoffs, NHL, NBA, to political props. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker, or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. Bet Online. The game starts here.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get straight into it. We are on to baseball. Once again, Dave Van Horn and the guys go out and take on Portland. Get a series sweep, which is supposed to happen. This is how we feel about it. But in game 3, they had to really put it together and make it happen. With that being said, hold on, DP. What is that contraption you have? Don't do that. Don't do that, Mr. Reese. Don't do that, Mr. Reese. You know I love you now. You know I love you, Mr. Reese. But look, speaking of that, let's touch on that real quick. Let the people know. So every time, y'all know how we do. If you watch us on a regular basis, we say some stuff that can be misconstrued as inappropriate, or if you got an ear for that type of thing and you catch us saying something, we're talking sports, but it may come off wrong. Mr. Petty, AF, yeah, he the one that keeps pressing the button. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm glad you can admit that, sir. That's half of the problem. So he records it. Now we have a bloopers reel of all the things that we're saying, and we're speaking to you guys.
That's what she said.
It's hilarious, though. It's really hilarious. Like we're really talking real sports, and all of a sudden, Hart and I will look up and like, what just happened? Yeah, and Adam just got us, clipped it and recorded. I'm sure at some point we'll drop this so you guys can see it. Man got a WWE microphone. Yeah, yeah, exactly. There you go, Justin. Shout out to Justin. Yeah, Justin. So look, it's going down tonight, guys. Let's jump back into this. So once again, a sweep, which is what they needed. Get ready to go to SEC play, playing Ole Miss next. But the game 3, they really had to put it together to make it happen. I was proud of the boys. Like I said, we did what we felt like they should have done. Let's just go ahead and dive into some of the details you guys saw in regards to that series sweep that you guys seen as opportunities, some things that you're proud of. And once again, let's look for a household name that we can look forward to towards the year. I got it this time.
You sure?
Yeah, I got it.
I mean, first 2 games you had 2 more run rules, so that was 4 run rules straight. I know we would have liked another, but it is what it is. We go back to the early part of the season. There was, especially after game 1, it was already the fire Nate Thompson, this, that, and the other. And I mean, granted, I know it's Portland, but that's what you need to do in these games. And then even to have a struggle game today, that's going to happen. You're going to potentially, especially these midweek ones coming up during SEC play. So we got UCA coming this week for 1 game before they go to Ole Miss. I know today, I forget which Aloy brother it was. One of them either got pulled from the game. He, I guess, tweaked his back or tweaked something last game. And they had him in this,
Vahiva, because Nolan Souza went to short.
And then they had him in this game, and then they took him out. I look at that. I mean, if Davian Horn played him today, and then he pulled him, it was just, why keep playing him?
Yeah, precautionary.
As you're getting ready. Yeah, you go in and see what he can do. You pull him, get him ready for Ole Miss, and that's that. I wouldn't read into it. I've seen a few posts in different groups that were worried that it was more than that. I don't think it's anything more than a tweak. So I know the first game, I think it was the first game, there was, somebody can correct me, I know you will. One of the games, two of them had 2 home runs, and then it was, I mean, having 2 hitters to hit 2 home runs in the game was pretty ridiculous, but they're ready to go. It's just a matter of getting through whenever that game is, Tuesday or Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. And then go on to Oxford this weekend.
Gotcha. Mr. Hart, Mr. Sports Almanac, what you got in regards to the baseball series?
I would say, for the most part, pitching has really stood up and held their own this year. You would hope that they continue that on. As we're talking about going to Ole Miss. Bats have really picked it up lately. We started off a little slow, I would say, in some of the games, but we really picked it up. What I was told this weekend, talking to my source and stuff, he's saying that Nate Thompson has been really preaching on them swinging for pop flies, trying to hit pop flies. He's all about the analytics and everything. And I feel like last year we tried to do that with the gorilla ball, and I don't think our hitters were suited for that type of approach. And I feel like this year we're more suited for it. You got Iredale, you got the Lloyd brothers, and you got other hitters that haven't really taken off yet. I mean, you got Diggs who plays spotty. We have so many hitters that it's hard to get them all in and get them in a groove. But it's good to see us doing what we should have been doing, doing a run rule. And if I recall, I heard the stat we have 7 run rules and 8 games within 3 runs or less. So it's pretty Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of game scenarios there.
Right. You want to because you're Mr. Sports Almanac, these names, these baseball names, they're killing me. I am so thrilled to see the base hitting. What's his name?
Gackle.
I was gonna say that, but I want to jack it up. Gackle still looks off by the large better team. Yeah, it looks like overall, like I said, what we're hoping to see from this group, we're getting, and of course with the debauchery that is football this past season, and some of the ups and downs of basketball, which we'll see. It looks like baseball team is starting off well, but as always, I look at it as this is a marathon, it's not a sprint. So once again, we got to go ahead and prepare to get in SEC play and see what happens. Justin with the comment, this only helps when the road SEC series, Fayetteville Regionals, and Super Regionals come to town. LOL. Yeah, we need to win those this time, though, Justin. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, we got to win that. So, yeah, it's one of those things, man. As of right now, we all on the up and up. We all feel good about what we're seeing. It's amazing that Dave Van Horn and his staff does a great job of coaching and bringing in great talent via portal or high school ranks just to be able to replenish these names. It's almost like what we're seeing with Musselman and we're seeing with Coach Cal. You're just bringing in a whole different team of guys, and it seems that he's putting the time together and they're meshing well in the right time, get ready to go into SEC play. I hope some of these big guys, these big lineups that we're seeing, some of the heavy hitters in the SEC, we're going to be able to be at the top of that podium, top of that rank in SEC play throughout the season. I don't have to be number one all year long, just as long as we're in contention. And when it comes down to SEC tournament time, we're once again making some noise, making it to get ready for Omaha. Steve says, these baseball Hawks are starting awfully strong. It's nice to see the bats. We always have good pitching, but adding great bats, and we could be very dangerous. Absolutely. Yeah, the pitching has always been phenomenal. We always find someone that comes out who probably was a relief guy the previous year, weekend guy, and somehow finds a way to create a great rotation in regards to pitching.
Like Parker Coyle, after his outing today, I mean, 9 innings, 9 strikeouts, no walks when he comes in for relief. So, I mean, that's something that if he builds on that, I mean, that's going to be huge down the line.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Ms. Teresa comment says Thompson needs to get off hop fly trajectory crap. DVH wanted base hitters. He had them, but analytics will never take the place of pure gut baseball. Absolutely. Great comment, Ms. Teresa, on that. Great comment on that one right there. So, like I said, it seems like we're all feeling good right now in regards to what we're seeing in regards to baseball. I would love for those guys to continue to keep rolling. I would love for some names that we haven't spoke highly on or spoke on repeat. And hopefully some of those names will come to fruition and start being a part of the major rotation. Other side of it is, look, the injury bug is real, and it happens every single year. I think what Woods is, what are we looking at for his return?
I
know
haven't
he was.
heard anything or looked into it really.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think it's what I was told. I think a couple of weeks, so we could be getting close to seeing him back in the next few weeks. Could be sooner than later, but I think he's on the mend.
Let me get my guy. Shout out to Ty. DP. you need me to buy you a space heater? No. I got the central heat on. I just came from outside. Making a run. So yeah, I'm a little warmed up. Like I said, I don't know what the temperature like is where you are. It's a little chilly and some little rain here. So just kind of prepping. Plus, Ty, I tried to catch me a little bug, and I don't do getting sick very well. So I just rather prep on the front side and make me some hot toddies and make sure that I'm staying warm and I don't get sick because I don't like getting sick. It's not my thing. You know, for some reason, grown men turn into babies when we get sick. I don't like it. I don't like it, Ty. But thanks for the concern or the sarcasm. Either way, I'm glad you're here this evening, sir. All right. With that being said, y'all know how we do. We're going to keep on rolling. Mr. Reese, I'm going to get your comment on Woods before we go to this ad. Gage Woods' shoulder is clear per MRI. And for a kid that throws like he does, that is amazing. Absolutely. So I'm glad that we got some positive news on Woods, and hopefully we can get him back in the lineup. Thank you for the update, Mr. Teresa. As y'all know how we do, finna pay these bills. Let's get it.
Let's take a quick time out and talk about something just as important as Arkansas basketball, your home. Our friends over at Premium Supply are like the MVPs of home improvement. They've got everything you need to make your house a slam dunk. We're talking siding, soffit, columns, windows, doors, vents, decking, the whole playbook. Whether you're building from the ground up or just doing a little home court maintenance, they've got you covered. And with locations in Conway, North Little Rock, Russellville, and Jonesboro, there's always a Premium Supply close enough for a fast break. So if you're looking for premium products with premium customer service, make your next shot count and visit www.premiumsupplyllc.com. Premium Supply, where we treat each of our customers like one of the family.
Shout out to Premium Supply. Once again, their website has been updated. So that's premiumsupplyllc.com. So make sure to check those guys out for your home improvement needs. Let me get this comment from Steve real quick. And Tim, I'm about to get to you. Don't look at it, Adam. All right, Steve says very few walks. Our pitching was very precise for so early in the season. We have hit a few batters, but we are not walking many. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a great one right there. Let me get straight to Tim though real quick. Not hog related. Said I know Adam is a Suns fan. How does that even happen? But I'm a LeBron fan.
You want me to tell you how it happened?
We're gonna find out. You're gonna let us know. What do you think about his injury doing the Lakers to make a run in the playoffs? Adam, tell us about how you a Suns fan and how they came to fruition. And we'll get into
I was gonna need more than a couple of seconds because I was gonna actually go get the clip.
We good on the clip about you and the Suns. We see once again. You cannot give this man idle time. This is what he does for a living. But Tim, I'll go ahead and jump into that. Go ahead.
No, it was in the 1997 playoffs, I believe. Rex Chapman. It was a turnaround 3-pointer, and I don't know what it was, but like after, it's one of those things that as a kid, when you're playing basketball, you see something, and then you go outside and like try to mimic it for the next 3 hours.
Yeah.
And so it was just one of those things that I remember doing and started watching the Suns. I mean, you go back to the Suns, you had KJ Johnson, Jason Kidd. You had a number of Charles Barkley. I mean, you had a bunch of guys that were, I mean, historically great. And they may not panned out championship wise, but they're always just fun to watch. And then circa you go back or you go forward into the 2000s under Mike D'Antoni, and you had best offense at the time that the NBA had ever seen. I think they were averaging like 125 a game. Steve Nash, Mars Stoudemire, Sean Marion.
Got rid of Joe Johnson.
Yeah, unfortunately, Barbosa, Diao, and that whole period of time. And, you know, to this day, like I will say, I respect Kobe Bryant's game almost more than anybody's. But as a Suns fan, and then a Suns fan during his peak, or during actually his whole career, I hated watching him play.
Right.
I respected
you know
it because,
phenomenal
I
he is,
mean,
right.
and the Suns Lakers rivalry, if you even want to call it that, I mean, those guys wanted to fight. They tried to fight. You got elbows, you got jabs, you got this, you got that. It was just always, it was fun to watch. I've just always followed them, always liked them, even during the crappy years, even during the failed finals attempts a few years back.
I can respect that as opposed to you jumping to the next hottest team. So yeah, I can dig that.
I mean, it's
real
one of those,
quick,
if you're an Arkansas fan, you can deal with, and I'm sorry for some of y'all out there being Cowboys fans, and Tim, I believe you being a Saints fan, you know, the struggle is real for some of us.
Facts. I'm a Chicago Bulls fan, so I understand, right? But I do want to say this in regards to that comment, then we'll get into Tim's comment. So you mean, I remember a time where, once again, you make a last second shot, Jordan, turnaround jumper, Kobe.
Yeah,
I've never seen anybody on the court saying Chapman. I've never seen that in life. So maybe there was only at Fort Smith. I don't know.
I didn't say I was going out there yelling Chapman.
Oh,
I was just shooting. Shoot or shoot. So,
shoot and shoot.
One of those things, shoot or shoot.
Gotcha. So he asked us about LeBron and his injury and their run for the playoffs.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I feel like similar to the Razorbacks, actually, to make it relatable, the fact that Coach Cal has to retool his team week after week, depending on who's playing and who's not, I feel like that's something that's going on right now in Laker Nation. So with Luka coming on strong, entering Laker Nation, he's been able to take over and make some things happen. I know they still got some injuries, some guys who are not playing. Hachimura, aka Uchiwale, because I
just call him Rui.
There you go, same thing. So
you know, he's got some pretty fire Jordan 1.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I know you're a Jordan 1 fan. You like those things.
Yeah.
So all that being said, I look at it and I say, this is going to give Luka an opportunity to get his leadership on with the rest of the guys on the floor and the bench players. Let them get their own chemistry without LeBron being in his presence. And then all of a sudden, LeBron comes back, get a little rest. At his age, he needs the rest because it's the older you get, you guys know that it's hard to come back from an injury as quick as it did in younger days. So I think it'll work itself out with the way that it's lining up in the West. I definitely like OKC, young, athletic, energetic. Of course, we got some former Hogs on the team, so it's great to watch those guys play. Shout out to SGA. I think he should be the MVP this year because speaking on LeBron, I feel like he's the last him, Steph, KD, Giannis. Oh, them is kind of dope. Them kind of dope right now. Okay. He's not playing in them, but yeah.
No, I mean, it's just something that they did together.
Gotcha. But looking at that, I think this generation of basketball is coming to an end. And I don't know who the next superstars are in the league. Anthony Edwards, SGA, Wemby, Cooper Flag. Hopefully he goes to the Bulls. Yeah. So
he's going to come back to Duke.
Why? When all the money is waiting on him and the potential to play is there. Who stays in college now?
I'm sorry. You go to Washington, your career's done. Unless you're...
I mean, it's a career killing team.
Wemby is generational.
Yep.
So they say he is or he isn't. One injury and that's over with. But he lucked into going to a franchise like San Antonio.
With a coach like Pop.
You end up in Washington or Atlanta, your career is done. Ask Trey Young, ask Zachary Richard, whatever how you pronounce his name.
Ricochet.
Ricochet.
Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire, yeah. So the teams that are more than likely, which the NBA still does the lottery stuff, so you never truly know who's going to be the number one pick. Don't get me started on that dude yesterday. But, you know, the Lakers are still holding firm at second in the West. So I will say this this is going to include myself. When JJ Redick got hired, we all know that, you know, their little podcast together, him and LeBron, was basically 6 months worth of him auditioning or interviewing
for the job.
But I will say that I don't know if there's anybody that is around the league that has a higher basketball IQ than JJ Redick, since he is, I think, has played in this era of basketball.
Yeah.
He understands the game. He was teammates with a lot of these guys previously. So it's worked out. They listen to him. Even listening to basically like when they've got the cameras on in the locker room or coaches meetings or whatever, the way he talks to his other coaches, the players, night and day different, which why they hired Darvin Ham, I will never know, but it's night and day. So props to JJ Redick, because I mean, they're second in the West.
Yeah. And nobody thinks they will be at that point.
11th.
Yeah. Nobody thought they would be there in that particular point. Mr. Hart, you got anything to add to that comment about LeBron playoff?
I respect LeBron. I'm not the hugest LeBron fan. Just because
Sounds like a hater.
The
flopping. Okay. I can respect that.
I don't like the way it changed the game.
Yeah.
But I agree with y'all. I think it'll give opportunity for Luka to really get more familiar with everybody and get on time with everybody. So I think it may be a blessing in disguise for the Lakers, but I don't know if it'll end up resulting in any deep playoff run though.
Gotcha. I'll say this. My last little, well, first off,
LeBron James.
I had to get that in there. But you now have, which I respect LeBron's game. I'm not necessarily a LeBron fan.
Right.
I watch his games, and I watched other teams just because I like watching the best play.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those that the thing I don't like is now you have two of the biggest baby back bitches in the NBA on one team, and that's him and Luka.
Yeah.
Because they cry about everything.
All the calls.
And, and it's a lot of the players do these days. And I blame the refs more than I blame the players. So, because the refs allow it. And at the same time, it was happening in the 90s. You just didn't have as good a technology, cameras, mics, whatever. But I don't know how many calls Jordan, Kobe, whoever else got calls switched their way from talking to the refs.
Yeah, I think in regards to that comment, I feel like because we're in the age of social media, everything is now on replay, right? So between social media and YouTube, like I said, you keep seeing things over and over again. People make highlight reels of LeBron flopping. So yeah, LeBron is the Hog HQ of ESPN.
We cover a lot of topics.
We definitely do. Who was that? How about the Celtics? Justin, the Celtics are the best team in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
With all the players or the guys injured. Like what they went through in their last year's run to make the championship, they're showing it again. And they showed up great the other night versus the Lakers. So yeah, they're definitely the reason why people are keeping eyes. Jason Tatum is a superstar, but he's not put on the pedestal like a superstar. It's interesting. He got commercials and all that.
Doesn't mean you need to do dunk contest, Jaylen Brown. Anyway, was it Tatum or Brown in the dunk contest?
Brown.
It was Brown.
Okay, yeah, you don't have to do that.
All right, we're gonna get these NBAs out of the way. We're gonna jump straight into the Hog basketball. That's why you're here. Only reason I'm a LeBron fan is because I was born in '92. Watched Jordan for a short period and loved Kobe. Maybe I'm wrong for liking LeBron, but I've just stuck with him over 20 years. Yeah, he's the current hottest star. So, and his longevity in the basketball in the game of basketball is something to be respected. So, like I said, whether he's chasing stats or he's going for more championships, I just respect what I see. And like I said, I'm not going to ignore the fact that I'm watching this man's play. And years down the road, our kids will be talking about LeBron James the same way we talked about Michael Jordan. So once again, if you've never seen certain players play, you may not understand their greatness. Wilt Chamberlain, who was that? What's the other guy's name? All the championships.
Bill Russell.
Bill
Russell. Yeah. Moses Malone, couple players. You know what I'm saying? Like if you didn't watch during that era, then you have no idea how great they were in that time. So like I said, we're watching greatness right in front of us, so I can't knock that. I quit watching it when it came to all the crying and no defense. The college game is much more entertaining. Yeah, Kingston, I can rock with that. Ryan, Cleveland can't get no love. No, they can't. They can't get no love because that's a little market, so nobody really cares. They got to show up in the playoffs in order to get their respect.
Oklahoma
like I
City's
said,
a little market.
Yeah, who?
Oklahoma City.
Yeah, but they are entertaining to watch, and they got more TV time than Cleveland. When Cleveland shows up, they show up to play now. I do follow the old Hawks though. Okay, gotcha. Dig it. They keep trying to put Pitt Brown and versus Tatum for some reason because they don't want to see these two people be together and keep that dynasty going that they may have in Boston. So it makes sense. It makes sense. But you're here for Hog News, and as we transition, we're gonna get straight into this basketball and this Hog situation. But I digress. We're gonna get straight into this Coach Cal and the Razorbacks. The guys do what they do. We're gonna get into this SEC roundup real quick and talk about some scores.
This may be the wrong one.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
What does that mean? Nope. There we go. Hold on. DP went away.
See what I'm saying?
Why did it only do?
Who knows?
Do it with two people.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
I'm gonna let that go. So these are the SEC scores during the week. Number one Auburn goes down to Texas A&M. Texas A&M 83-72 over Auburn. That was a good little matchup right there. That was a nice game. Coach Buzz, man, like I said, I got a lot of respect for Coach Buzz and his coaching style. Once again, his suits is clean to me. Like I said, and he has a lot of tenacity on the sidelines. Got a lot of respect for him. Of course, the little comments he gave to the young reporters definitely amped up my respect for him. So dig that. Looking at Tennessee versus Ole Miss. Ole Miss get 2-point win over Tennessee, knocking Tennessee down from the number 4 ranking. Florida 99 over Alabama 94. Interesting game. Like I said, Florida, for some reason, I can't wait to see them in SEC tournament play just to see what this really looks like. They have some real competitive games this particular year. And once again, I feel like they don't get a lot of TV time, kind of like you talk about Cleveland in the NBA. Like, they're a good team. They're ranked up there with the best, but we don't see them often enough to say they're that team. So, but they play with the best of them. So I can't wait to see how it looks in the SEC tournament time. Missouri loses to OU. OU is up and down. I guess they figured the season's over with. They might as well give everything they got. So they win 96-84 of Mizzou. LSU and Kentucky. Kentucky takes the win, 95-64. Texas and Mississippi State. Texas gets the win over Mississippi State, 87-82. UGA and South Carolina, that is 73 UGA, 64 South Carolina. And Arkansas once again takes care of business, 90-77 over Vanderbilt. Going into the Saturday scores. Looking at it, we got number 7 versus number 1 in-state rivalry, Alabama and Auburn. Hey, man, that was a great game. I figured it would have that tenacity, that back and forth, that chippiness that it did. And once again, Sears finds a way to get it done, taking the ball and then making a cut in the lane with a left-hand floater for the game winner. So that was a great game right there. South Carolina and Tennessee. Tennessee takes care of business, 75-65. Ole Miss versus Florida. Florida does it again, 90-71 over Ole Miss. Kentucky and Missouri. Missouri loses to Kentucky, 83. Kentucky takes the win, 91. A&M versus LSU. That was probably one of the better things that could happen to their schedule. You had a hell of a game the week before, then you play LSU on Saturday. Makes sense. 66-52. Mississippi State versus Arkansas. Arkansas with the Billy. Shout out to Billy. One of the best guys that's on this team as far as tenacity, defense. I have no idea what you got going on. But once again, we get the win. Arkansas gets the win. Vanderbilt versus UGA. UGA 79 takes the win on Vanderbilt 68. And OU and Texas, the Red River rivalry in basketball. OU finds a way to get the win 76-72 over Texas. So shout out to the SEC for what they've been doing. And stop it. Yeah. Billy was acting a fool. But shout out to them. So this is the layout for the SEC men's tournament. Of course, the women's have been doing their thing. No, this is the women's. This is the women's. This is
the men's.
We play South Carolina first.
Well, yeah.
Right. Okay. This is a different layout. Gotcha.
Not the one I sent.
Right. Okay. So looking at this, to be honest with you, it's just like we talked about in the group chat. I really feel like Arkansas has the opportunity to face Auburn. Could be optimistic versus the win we just got of Mississippi State, but we played South Carolina and Ole Miss very well. We've won those games.
We got our ass handed to us by South Carolina by almost.
Yeah, that was the worst
30.
one. That was the worst one. But this is redemption time, and if we learn in the Musselman era, at least I learned the Musselman era, is about playing great at the right time. And if Arkansas isn't playing the best ball they played all year long, I don't know what to tell you. So I'm ecstatic about that first round matchup. What you guys thinking about that first round matchup with South Carolina?
Just to touch on the Musselman comment, they finished 15-16 on the year.
He said he needs some talent. Yeah.
I mean, you drop. I'm not going to go there anyway. So, I mean, it with South Carolina, when I first saw the matchup, I was just like, oh shit! Like I didn't want to see it just because I'm still thinking about that game. But at the same time, afterwards, Cal was just like, we're not going to watch the tape on this. We're going to move on. We're not going to worry about, etc. So I look at it like, if for anything, the players are like, oh no, we've got to go smack them in the mouth. You don't want to do anything though in this SEC tournament to deplete your already depleted roster. So it's one of those that, go out and play. I think you do, like, just to, I don't even want to say improve your seed or whatever with the NCAA tournament, but just don't go out and get, blown out by them. But if you want, use those first two games as redemption games or revenge games, because South Carolina and Ole Miss have beat you once already. So go back and beat them and then play Auburn, see what happens. I'm actually more interested in like the Texas Vanderbilt matchup. And even the OU Georgia, because I'm still in the mix of, I'm not so 100% sure 12 to 13 SEC teams get in. They're still talking like they will, but I'm still sitting on the 11 mark, but we'll see what happens.
I wish we would have been in that bracket with Texas Vanderbilt, one of them teams. Which means we would have lost more games, but still, I feel like our trajectory. No, Texas ain't even gonna whoop our ass.
So I was looking at this earlier, and I thought, wouldn't it be fitting? I have two potentials here for Auburn and Alabama to rematch in the championship.
Okay.
Or Arkansas and Kentucky to rematch in the championship. Will they happen? No, that second one, probably not. But it would just be funny as hell if it came down to that.
Go ahead, Hart.
Do you think they try to win the SEC championship?
No.
Cal used to it, Kentucky and stuff. That's what I'm thinking too. I'm leaning that way because it feels like it's just a Kentucky thing more than anybody now. I mean, of course, the teams that need to get in the tournament, they're going to try to win it, but other than that, it seems like a little bit of a waste. Kind of like the baseball tournament. As long as think you're in the tournament, get that first win if you can, and then get out.
Well, it's like I'm on the boat of, I feel like if Arkansas exceeds expectations in this tournament, I don't want Arkansas to be at that 9 seed. I don't want that 8. I don't want to be an 8-9 matchup in the NCAA tournament. I would rather be a 10 or a 12. And the reason I don't want an 11 seed is because I don't want to be in the first 4-in play-in game.
Correct.
So that's why I'm wanting a 10 or a 12, because I'd rather see a 10-7 or 12-5 matchup.
Hart, let me ask you a question based upon the comment you just dropped. When you feel that way about when you said the statement about should they try to win, or do you think they're trying to win the SEC tournament? If we had a healthier, more talented team and we were on a roll ending SEC play, you think you can make the same comment?
No, because I think we would all like our chances of winning it and being able to steamroll.
I was just wondering.
And you wouldn't have to win as many games in as many days as we would now.
Correct.
So it's a little bit of a, but that's a great question though.
Yeah. Let me get Kingston's comment real quick. Kingston's dad comment. I'd rather beat SC than rest, basically. Only playing 7, we need rest. Even if Boogie comes back for some minutes. And we'll talk about that as well. Great addition. What else you got that I missed on there? Oh, that was a must comment real quick. Pop that. Yeah, he was also complaining about home court advantage. Well, he left the best home court advantage for USC. No doubt about it, Pat. No doubt about it, Kevin. No doubt about it, Kevin. Absolutely. Like I said, I'm sure he made a business decision in regards to what he did. But once again, Arkansas is a hell of a home court advantage. I'd rather play as a 10 to 13 seed. Road to Final Fours are a little easier. Absolutely. Absolutely. Porter, it's okay. You're here. Matter of fact, Porter, since you late, go ahead and hit the button. Go ahead and hit the like button since you're on here. We appreciate you jumping in, but you're right on time for this basketball news. So we definitely gonna continue to do what we do. Anything else on here that you see is a great matchup going into the tournament, or something that we look at and say, hey, as a team, we can sit back, lose to South Carolina, one and done in the tournament, get some rest, get Boogie back, get healthy, figure out who's still going to be playing, and then go ahead and wait for the seeding. How you guys feel about our projected seeding? I know you talked about where you would rather see us, but how much is the SEC tournament going to affect the energy, the chemistry that they're already rolling on to go into tournament play?
I don't think I'm not saying go in and lose to South Carolina just because you want to rest. You don't need to win. Whatever you're going to get, I think seeding wise in the NCAA, I think you're going to be a 10 to 13. I think going deep in the tournament is going to bump you to a 9. I don't see a point in it. So win a game, lose a game. Like the only reason I'm saying beat South Carolina is just for the fact of the last game that we played against them.
Yeah.
So
it's more of a redemption thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get your revenge and then just kind of be done with it. I'm still saying go out and compete because, I mean, nobody wants to lose. So it's one of those that don't overextend yourself. Don't risk somebody else going out, which I know you can't always play that way. You can't play to protect them from injury or whatever. It's just these tournaments mean nothing unless you're trying to get into the NCAA tournament.
Correct. Looking at Steve's comment here, is there really a chance to get Boogie or Thero back?
We'll get to that.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. That's going to be in the Hog News segment. So stay tuned for that. Ty said all quad 1 games. Yeah, absolutely. SEC schedule is a gauntlet, and anyone who can make it through the SEC and be the champs, it's going to be interesting to see SEC champs and how they favor in the NCAA tournament, to be honest with you. It's a lot of good teams out there. It's a lot of teams that are not front and center on your screen on ESPN on the ticker that you necessarily know about, but they have a great nucleus of players, some guys who have had some years under their belt via the transfer portal or high school recruiting. And at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it may not be the most talented team that makes a push or knocks off a top seed. It's a team that has great chemistry, that plays together, who has been in different scenarios and knows how to overcome challenges when they're down. Those are the teams who make some of the best memories when it comes to March Madness. Boom. One more comment. Just say, I ain't trying to lose 2 times today. Yeah. Well, it's gonna definitely leave a sour taste in your mouth. And then you're gonna have to think about that as you rest. Don't do it. So it's definitely gonna be something you're gonna be thinking about. Even though when they lost and got blown out, Coach Kyle said we're not gonna watch the film. So they moved on from that. So hopefully we can take care of business, have a respectable game in that manner, and then move forward with getting some rest. What? Hey Porter, tell a friend. Shannon, shout out to Shannon. We ain't seen you in a minute, Shannon. Where you been at? Shannon, go ahead and hit that like button up top. Go ahead and hit that like button. All right. Moving on. So the Hogs are not dead yet. I know we got some clips we got to show after this particular week of gameplay. You want to go ahead and drop those so we can talk through them, sir?
Able to answer the bell.
Rebound to Mississippi State. No timeouts. 8 seconds to play. They got a chance to win it. 5 seconds. This is Kugel. Kugel behind the back. Riley Kugel blocked. 1 second. No! Arkansas hangs on and closes out the regular season with a 93-92 big time win.
Billy! Look, yeah, Billy Richmond He was all on him like back pockets, man. I just love his tenacity. Like I said, he kind of reminds me defensively of a young Devo Davis in regards to what he brings to the team, his energy, his tenacity, his unwillingness to never stop and just be one of those guys, as we call a glue guy. Life been busy, bro. Hey, Shannon, when I tell you I understand where you coming from in that regard, I understand that. So not knock you on that. We gotta take it one day at a time. You know, I
Got a
go ahead.
quick thing, right quick.
Mm-hmm.
Before we go more into this game, let's just give a shout out to Arkansas State for winning the Sun Belt Conference today.
Ooh.
Joseph Pinion had 23 points. And then for South Alabama, Barry Dunning Jr. had 27. And Darian Ford only had 3. But so shout out to A State, and maybe should have played them more, took them with him to USC or something.
You know what? With the way the landscape of college basketball is, we do know Gilbert Arenas' son is headed to USC next year. He's one and done. Like I said, dude been phenomenal since he was in the 7th grade. Yeah. So with that being said, I'm sure Muss is going to find a way to get some guys to follow him and get some of those veteran basketball players' sons to come on board and build his team over there. Carrie Billy, like,
Yeah.
Carrie
If y'all
Billy,
don't know.
Yeah.
Y'all don't
For
know,
real.
go look it up.
For real. Kingston Dad, the shot clock, Traven Miss had officiated mistake, right? Billy is a cheater. He is.
So, I mean, I was always under the impression that ball hits the rim, the shot clock resets to 20. And it was at 19 and they put it to 60. That whole thing I felt like it was a screw up on the ref's part with the time. Gotcha. But regardless, Trevor Brazil shouldn't have tried to shoot. Like, bring the ball back out and try to run some time off the clock. I mean, obviously it worked out in Arkansas's favor, but I don't think you go for it with 20-something seconds left on the clock.
That is what you call basketball IQ.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When you're in a situation and you are used to handling the ball, starting to run the plays, those type of things come firsthand to you. If you're a guy who's usually on the backside of a pick and roll, things of that nature, then that's probably not your first instinct. You just feel like if I mess this up, I might get pulled. So I definitely understand that, but maybe that's the reason why Trevor Brazil should come back. Shout out to Wagner for making it happen. Wagner with the cross up and the step back. Definitely love that.
It was the semifinal, not final.
Okay.
Even Jordan missed a shot every once in a while.
He said they got one more game to play. Yeah. Hopefully that's the thought process. What else you got in regards to the clips? I know you had some more clips you wanted to run real quick.
No, that was the only clip.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Because
I couldn't find the quote because that was on the radio broadcast. So they forgot the nails in the coffin quote.
Gotcha. So this particular question, I just tuned in. Have y'all talked about Boogie or Thero yet?
No.
We have not. We are getting there. But because you are tardy to the party, make sure you hit that. Thank you. The like button. That's all we ask. Hey. The more you hit the like button and come into these comment sections, you guys help this show grow, and we appreciate you every single time. Kingston Dad. Hey, just being a great classmate. Not yet. End of the show.
One of these times it'll catch it and like do the whole little.
What happens is when the balloons and things pop up, it's by accident when it happens. Like every time we try to do it, it is that we're not Dan Olasky. It's just not happening when we try to do it.
Oh, it does it on my. Huh? Well, it's because we're on the little 3. Like it shows up on mine, but
okay. I don't know. See. Oh, I don't see. Now you pushing buttons. You're not even trying to do the little.
Nah, we're just.
I don't think you guys understand. When Adam gets bored, this is the type of shit he does. Like, but that's also why we have great graphics and different songs on intro because he gets bored. So time to time, I like when he gets bored. He always sends some in the middle of the week, and me and Hart will look at it and make our comments in regards to that. You guys want to throw anything in there before we wrap up on basketball? Is there anything we're missing? I know we're going to touch on some things in Hog News in regards to basketball and football. So if you want football news, please stay tuned. And we got some basketball news on a Hog News segment.
All right. Well, I mean, I got kind of cocky, overconfident in the beginning of the second half. Arkansas went on the run, got up 16, and I'm like, oh, great. Like, let's just blow it open. But then I'm sitting there, it's around 13 points, and I sent a text to Hog Talk Sporter, and I said, watch out for that 8-minute down to 5-minute mark, because it never failed. When Arkansas has a lead like this, we struggle during that period. But a lot of the time. And so that hits, and I'm watching the clock, and then it gets down to 9 points. And then it just kind of kept dwindling. And then Arkansas went on that like three-ish minute drought with not scoring during that. But then to turn around, I think we were down 3, and to get back in it and win the game, I mean, that shows where these guys, their heads are at. That shows their preparedness, shows Cal's coaching ability. You know, a lot of people, it was Cal's a great recruiter, but he's not a good coach. Bullshit. This has proven all that wrong, because when he went down, he had to make an overhaul of how this team runs and how this team operates. And, you know, it's a night and day difference from the 1-6 start, 0-5, then 1-6 start in the SEC to where they are now. So, you know, we can hope that they carry this into the SEC tournament, into the NCAA tournament. At this point, I'm just looking at it like I'm not saying that I'm happy, like overall, if we just go one and done and we're out. But from where we were at to where we are now, I mean, it's night and day.
Gotcha. Mr. Hart, comments on the basketball?
Well, it was nice to see Jonas Adu really step up and perform this, the last game of the season. Of course, the same. You got Billy, you got DJ making his big shot. I did find it nice that we've had Adu hit free throws to seal 2 games, and we've had DJ Wagner hitting big shots to put us in position to win games if he didn't give us the game winner.
Right.
So it's good to see that. Good to get the win that we had to have to really kind of get solidified in the tournament. Hopefully now we just don't lose the FC and become a playing game, because that's just not what you really want to be in.
Right.
But it is what it is, and I'm just glad that we started 0-5 and turned around and went 8-5, and still had some that we could have, wish we could have had, but they really turned it around, and really proud of the team fighting and scrapping and sticking together through all this.
No doubt about it. Speaking of, I'm piggyback off what you just said, sticking together. We think about the debauchery that was, the rumor mill that went on in the last team that we had, 2 players, all the rumors, all the foolishness that basically distract you from what was going on the court. Shout out to Coach Cal and their staff, definitely, for retooling that team every other month, it felt like, in regards to injuries. We was waiting for Nelly to get going. From what we seen in his recruiting, his transfer portal, we saw that he has the ability to be a great scorer. We've seen all the points that he scored in his previous institution, and we're waiting for that. And we did not get it. We did not get it in abundance. We got flashes of it, but that also made Coach Kyle and his team, his staff, find a way to put different players in position. That's how you have a Carter Knox that shows up, right? That's also how you have Thero come out of nowhere and does what he does, right? So, and then we seen Wagner come on late, taking on a leadership role, and what we thought we saw him in his freshman year at Kentucky, just be more of a leader, take over the game, not be afraid to take the shots. So it was definitely a great situation, in where, hey, him and the Chicken Man linking up and writing this check for him to be at Arkansas. I definitely appreciate it. Shout out to the whole coaching staff for doing what they do to make those guys believe in what they're selling. I want to get these last couple comments. Go ahead.
If having Nate Ament in town this weekend, Friday, Saturday, he commits on April 1st. After the episode of Hog Talk that was at 5, we had on Adam Finkelstein, that's with CBS Sports and 24/7, and he's the director of recruiting for 24/7. He honestly, in his heart of hearts, he thinks it's going to be Duke that Nate Ament goes to, but he thinks there's going to be some things that go with that, and Jai Lucas going to Miami, that may change the dynamic in Cameron Indoor, or whatever. But if you don't think Cal does things for a reason, he picks today, the day after Nate Ament is in Fayetteville, to go to Oklahoma City and to talk to the former players and whatnot, but to be shown on ABC with SGA. Everything's done for a reason.
Strategic.
I mean, for these recruits to see Coach Cal with potentially this year's MVP of the league.
Yeah. Look who's in the comments. If it ain't Mr. Logan Evans said, there are guys stepping up that we probably wouldn't have seen without injuries, and these guys are balling. Coaching, I guess, help. Lack thereof. Yeah, absolutely, agree with that. Like I said, it wasn't ideal for what we all saw in regards to him putting together. You got to think about it. This man took the job, and told this press conference he didn't have a roster. So for him to put this particular roster together, his coaching staff together, the GAs, and then find a way to go through all the ups and downs, the hurdles, trials and tribulations, and then find a way to get to 19 wins after 0-5 start. That's coaching. That's called making adjustments on the fly, which we hope we see in football this upcoming season.
And if you haven't watched it yet, and I keep plugging it whenever I can, go watch Calipari, Razor's Edge on Vice TV. It's just a well-done docuseries that shows you a different side that I don't think you would get if this was something that the university was putting on themselves.
Yeah. Logan said he was just being a smart ass for all those who keep saying he was washed. Just here for the money. Shut up!
He took a pay cut to come here, so.
Yeah. We happy to have Logan back. You know what? I'm not going to say that. I'm glad Logan is back, though. I do want to get this comment real quick. Steve, as a guy who never made a high school team besides the tennis team, Lane, I appreciate guys like you that know sports. Hey, man, being a tennis player, that is not a lame feat, brother. That you got to be an athlete to do that.
You know how many times people were like, hey, let's go with the court. And this is way back in the day. And I played in high school basketball. So when I was in, basketball shape, I'd try to attempt to go out on a tennis court with friends that did play tennis, and they made me look like a fool.
Yeah.
So I am never going to understand, but try to compete with what they do on tennis courts.
Yeah. That's a lot of great hand-eye coordination, a lot of quick movements back and forth, projecting the ball to go inbound. Yeah, that's a lot that goes into that. I do want to get this comment before we go ahead and shut it down. Boogie. He's a body. Be good to spell DJ, but I fear he screws up our mojo. Seeing that it hasn't been in rotation. I get it. He's been out, hasn't grown mentally like the rest of the team. With him, we were losing. Lots of dribble, jack shots. Justin, I'm not mad at that. And thank you for tuning in from YouTube. You can hit the like button on YouTube too. Shout out to Shannon on YouTube as well. I've seen somebody else on YouTube, Steve on YouTube. Thank y'all for checking us out on YouTube as well. William Brown. Mac give me good news. Please tell me my neighbors will be
Sadly, that doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Yeah, don't like it's going to happen. But
whenever y'all are ready, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get into this hog news. I need some little intro music for the hog news. Let's do it.
Hey, it's time for some hog news.
Well, where to begin? So, just a few things, and some of this has been floating around. So this started with Cal's live with Coach Cal Tuesday night or Wednesday night, whenever it was earlier in the week. Boogie himself is trying to come back for the NCAA tournament. What's that? Because I've seen a lot of comments, and it's been kind of the team's chemistry, and I get that. But from the actual aspect of if Boogie were to come back, he's not going to come back in a starting role. He's not going to come back playing 30-plus minutes a game.
Right.
If anything, if he can come back, you're going to use him in spurts. He's going to come off the bench. He's going to give relief to the guards. I mean, I'm thinking that you'd be looking at 10 to 12, 15 minutes max, if that. This is not something that he's going to come in and just 36 minutes, he's taking starting position back, whatever. That's not going to happen. I still think it's a stretch that he does get to play, but if he does, it's something that's going to be done sparingly. He's not, like I said, he's not going to just be inserted for 20, 30 minutes and take over somebody's spot unless he just comes in and, balls out. I think then, you'd have a different story. But I don't think that this is anything that's going to be like groundbreaking, earth shattering if he does come back. I think he's just going to come back in a off the bench role.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things. If he does, great. If he doesn't, great. I mean, he's got to do what his body's going to let him do. So he's also got to think about his future, which we're about to get to. So it's one of those that he's in a tough spot if I were him on deciding what to do and what not to do.
Gotcha.
So some of the other stuff that's floated around, which remember, all this stuff can change daily. None of this is set in stone.
It's fluid.
So it's fluid. So just don't freak out. Don't say, oh, well, they said, we're just what is out there. Players in the NBA draft. So 3 players currently are looking at hiring agents. Nelly Davis, which he doesn't have any eligibility left, so I get it. Adu doesn't have any eligibility left, so okay. And Boogie is on that list, which will mean that if he hires an agent, he will be done. So
now, he can test the waters. He can test the waters, not hire an agent, and then come back if he chooses to.
Correct, and that's where I'm about to get with the next group.
All right.
Guys wanting to, as DP just said, test the waters, go to the combine, get their draft grades a lot like Trevor Brazil did last year. Big Z and Hero are on that list. So again, not hiring agents as of now. That could change, but it's 2 guys that want to just see where they're going to grade at. But that does mean them not hiring agents that, I personally think that one more season under Cal and a winning productive team would take Zero from a late first round pick to a lottery pick.
Correct.
Unless he just has, just a combine that they'd never seen before. I think it's in his best interest too. But I will say that I think that the 2026 NBA draft will be much more difficult than this year's draft. So that's going to be something that they've got to weigh themselves as players on when they want to risk it. Coming back to the team, Carter Knox, Billy Richmond, DJ Wagner.
Nice nucleus.
So that's something that Carter Knox is trusting Cal to get him to be a first-round draft pick. He's giving him that. So that's the there are certain agents, but I think a lot of that is done with they're I think used to help get them the grades and such. They're ones that are approved by the NCAA, but they're not typically the ones. There's a certain group, and most of the guys that are looking at agents are looking at the ones that they're going to be done with college afterwards. So we'll see what happens, because that's going to make a lot of the decisions for the off season, the recruiting. I know it's also floating out there that there's another possible twin that wants to come to Fayetteville. And we played them this year. So
now I got to do the research.
Well, there's a rumor that Big Z's twin at Illinois, Thomas.
Oh, at Illinois. Gotcha.
That he wants to play with him in Fayetteville. So he's a true big in my, I think he's 13.7 boards. He can shoot, but he is more of an inside. But we're going to have to go get 1 or 2 bigs this offseason, and I think he's one to be on the lookout for.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Quick question. Lucas, watching this on YouTube, TB looking at staying?
He's undecided at the moment.
Gotcha.
So again, I think he's another one that he needs another season under Cal, because what we wanted to see all season long, we're finally getting consistently.
Yep.
And I think he needs a full season of that.
Yeah.
Having his confidence back from that injury, being able to get up above the rim, make those plays that we so loved him for before his injury. So yeah, I can definitely dig that. That's all you got on the Hog News side, sir?
And NIL can be done on their own. It doesn't have to be done with agents. Because there's some players that have been screwed by companies that they get NIL from.
All right. Mr. Hart, your portion of Hog News.
Yes, sir. All right. Let's start off with basketball since that's where we're already at. What I was told this weekend was let's see, Kareem, I'm gonna call it RTAIL.
The Lebanese player.
Yes, he is what I'm told the backup plan to Nate Ament. So if we don't land Nate, then we should be able to hopefully land Kareem Retail is how I'm gonna say it. All right, so after that we got Boogie. Pretty much talked about that. It's not just lip service. He really is busting his butt trying to get back for the NCAA tournament. So that's what I heard on my end.
So we can stop the whole sounds Nick Smithish foolishness. We can stop that.
No, we can't.
Okay,
my next topic. Because of my next topic.
There you go.
And I'll just say this: if you haven't seen, Nick Smith got used the other night. You know what a sham god is? The little move.
Oh yeah, would he and grab it and snatch it?
Yeah, that happened to him. I think it was Donovan Mitchell did it to him.
Spider Mitchell. Oh yeah, when he split the defense. Oh, it was nasty. It was nasty work, no doubt about it. Tyler, stay tuned. We got that coming. It's coming.
All right, so the next one I have on my list is Adu Thero. Now, I'll admit I don't know every detail in this situation because I've pretty much heard what everybody else has heard. I've heard, hyperextended knee, I've heard his back, and then I've heard the meniscus. Talking to my source, I'm trying to read between the lines on some of the stuff because he's not totally sold on any of it really, but what we think may be the deal is that he may have actually torn his meniscus and they're trying to keep it under wraps for if he does try to explore the NBA route, as Adam just alluded to. And if he did tear his meniscus and he had a procedure done, he's probably 2 weeks in, and usually the recovery time would be about roughly 4 weeks on something like that. So who knows? There could be a return for him as well. That put him right around the NCAA tournament time, just like Boogie. But we will see with that. Thero's situation feels a little more like Nick Smith Jr. That's why I brought that part. So that is all I have for basketball. Now we can move into football. Football, I was talking last night with one of my sources, and Taven Green is looking really good so far. He's doing really well on the deep ball. He's getting more and more familiar with his targets, with his receivers and everything. And so that's really promising. I was told he's coming into his own, and he's not necessarily reading and trying to think about it. He's doing what we asked and hoped he would do. He's doing more of the playing football and just reacting. So we got that to look forward to. And then the next subject that I have is our offensive line and what I expect it could end up being, not necessarily starting out tomorrow. But from what I'm being told, this is the way I think it will end up. But before I say that, the staff believes that this offensive line may be starting at a lesser, maybe a step further back or down on the scale compared to last year's team, but they believe they have a much higher ceiling than last year's offensive line did.
Is that due to familiarity with the offense, chemistry, all new players not having as many returning players?
I think that's why they're saying it's starting a little slower, because you got so many moving parts, and moving parts because where they played last year may not be where they're playing this year.
Correct.
So let's get into it. For the left tackle, what I'm projecting is Corey Robinson. And let's see, for the left guard, I'm projecting Kobe Brenham to win that spot. Now, there's been a lot of black talk, but I believe that Brenham will eventually win that one out, from what I'm being told. For center, Carmona.
I like that.
I like that a lot too. And then our guard and tackles have been flip-flopping some, but the way it's kind of looking like it may shake out is Marion Harris, right guard, and Shaq McCroy as the right tackle. Now, like
Shaq
I said,
McCoy,
so
the
they've been
transfer from
flopping back and
Oregon.
forth
Gotcha.
from Oregon, yes. So they've been flipping back and forth between guard and tackle on the right side. So that is pretty much what I have for the news today. But hopefully we'll have some more coming up soon.
Logan being Logan. So in other words, O-line still sucks. It's like, just a
They just got to
warning.
learn. I will say the one thing I was told also about, or with my guy I was talking to last night, he was saying there was a point last year where the team had and Bobby kind of had to come to a come to Jesus moment, basically, where it was a little shaky, where they weren't sure if they were going to fully buy into his system, is what I'm being told. But they eventually did, and we saw how it kind of ended. So I mean, it makes a little sense. But the people around the staff are feeling pretty good with year 2 and Bobby, especially with Talon. So if we can get protection for him, hopefully we can have a pretty decent season.
Well, I'll say this too: year 2 with an actual O-line coach and not Cody Kennedy.
Yes,
and an old offensive system in Bob Petrino. Shannon, there will be absolutely no Hud Island slander on here. Yes, he is out of eligibility. Yes, he is out of eligibility. Keep your eye on that offensive line. I do want to kind of run through that, ask a couple questions real quick before we get up out of here this evening. Tyler, if Talon is making his reads, he can get the ball out. They can make the line better than it is. Absolutely. Because if he's not aware of the pre-snap reads and the actual primary targets, then of course he holds on to the ball too long. He ends up running. He runs around like we're playing backyard scramble and takes a 12-yard sack for no damn reason. So yeah, Justin, time to roll out the road graders on the O-line. Hell yeah. So I think Shaq, I don't know if Shaq, like I've seen Pittman's presser talk about what the team is looking like and some of the things he was impressed with. I would love to know a damn near 370 something what his feet look like. So if he's that big and maybe he's strong in the weight room, put his ass on the inside. Just let him just run people over, because we understand that right side offensive line is where Braylon Russell and them guys are going to be running it anyway. So like he putting the road graders on the right side, trying somebody that's athletic on that right tackle spot, as well as somebody who can block down with a tight end as well to make it happen. Transplant Texan, you're late. You're missing it. I don't know what the hell Adam on. Who was the starting running back? That we do not know at this particular point. I do know he said Braylon Russell's in the best shape of his life. But we also know that y'all hated him at the end of last year. So it just depends on who puts in the work during the season. I do want to ask this real question. Robinson, they said projected left tackle as of right now. He transferred in from somewhere. I can't remember where he came from. Maybe it was an SEC guy.
I don't think so. Adam will have to look that up real quick, so I'm drawing.
You looking it up right now?
I was listening to Inside Peanut Butter, Outside Jelly.
What you know about that?
Well, you were saying inside, outside, so that's what came to my mind.
I'm telling y'all, when the man get bored, this is what he does.
Who am I looking up?
Robinson, left tackle. What was his first name?
Corey. What school did he transfer from? I forgot.
I'm gonna get this question real quick. What happened to the big dude that played at DeSoto High? The big dude. Justin, was that offensive line, defensive line? Thank you. Don't worry about it. Don't ask Adam, ask Justin.
Georgia Tech.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Well, at first I got caught up because then I was looking at Corey Robinson that played for the Lions.
Oh, well, yeah.
OCD kick your ass. Yeah.
ADD?
That too. Whatever initials you want to add on it, motherfucker, you probably got it. All right. I do want to ask you this though. So I am rooting for Kobe Brennan. I know it's a hometown guy, Fort Smith guy, right? I definitely feel like, we look at some of the better teams in Arkansas history in regards to football. It has been a lot of Arkansas guys on that roster. And not only that, we've been trying to get back to that, keep guys in the state and build the wall. Yeah, this wall is going to keep the people in the state, right? So with that being said, I also respect what he did in the bowl game. You know, a lot of guys played in the bowl game who hadn't played all damn year long. They weren't good enough to play for you during SEC play. But when everybody bailed on you, hit the portal, Kobe Brennan was one of the guys on the offensive line who put in work, and he looked good in his time on the offensive line. So I'm definitely rooting for him to get that starting job.
And I'll say this too: when everybody did leave, and the team that was left, especially the offensive guys, Kobe's mom posted a picture on, I believe it was on, I don't know if it was on Facebook or Twitter or what, but so Kobe and his fiance, I don't want to put labels on anything. So his significant other, it was from their baby shower. And just see the offensive guys that were basically left after everybody that was hitting the portal, coming together for him, like stuff like that. That's what you want to see, just because we do hear so much of like, oh, there's locker room issues, or oh, this team isn't together, and especially guys that are lying to coaches to get extra eligibility and taking off and running. You still have this core group of guys that are fighting for each other.
Yeah. And that's what builds a great nucleus for a team, especially the offensive line. That unit has to be in sync in regards to chemistry wise and knowing each other and what they do as far as assignments. So yeah, I can definitely dig that. Guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up and get right here so people can get ready to prepare for a work week. I do want to say, Steve, watching us on YouTube, great chemistry between you three, and that's what makes great content. It's a great show. Thank you so much, Steve. We appreciate that. We definitely appreciate that. Guys, if you're still watching, go ahead and tap that like button, hit that heart button. We appreciate everything you do in regards to supporting us. Thank you for watching us. A lot of YouTube people watching us tonight. So we appreciate that as well. Once again, guys, we do this because we love Razorback sports. We love sports. And we just like to talk battle between the three of us. And we just appreciate you guys tapping in with us weekly in regards to the comment section, hitting the like button, etc., and sharing the content with people that may be interested in hog information. Kane Archer 2026 or bust?
Or bust.
And Logan, because he's a long-time loyalist. And with that being said, we're going to get up out of here this evening, man. We appreciate you for doing what you do. Transplanted Texas. I'm sure you was busy. That's why you went on here first tonight. Woo Pigs will be South Carolina neutral court without Tweet Williams. Yeah. Guys, we're up out of here. We appreciate you guys for tapping in with us on this Sunday evening. Y'all have a great work week. Be blessed. Be safe out there. Love on one another. And we will see you next time. We is out of here. Why?